We the people unite.
Hey everybody, welcome. Happy Wednesday. We the people are united. Hello, who's on our panel today? Keisha, Maureen, Mo, August, and Andrea. Welcome everybody.
Hi.
Are we hanging in there?
Think so.
Just.
It's questionable every day. It's questionable. I wonder. But, you know, it's never a dull moment. Look at that precious face. Oh, we love our dogs. Thank goodness for them right now. Oh, I know. So, another week and some more drama and an interesting article that came out in Vanity Fair by the chief of staff. Well, it wasn't by her, but it was about her. So very interesting insights into the West Wing. So we're going to talk a little bit about that first. Kind of look at two sides of that. Was she surprised by the article and what was recorded about her and what she said, or was this strategic? These are the two questions we're going to look at when we talk about this. So kind of keep that in mind. So let's go ahead and let me share my screen and let's listen to a little bit of Jen Psaki, see what she has to say about it.
Administration takes place. The new president's incoming chief of staff has dinner with all the previous chiefs of staff. Usually one of them hosts it at their house or at a restaurant or whatever it may be. And chiefs of staff from both parties attend. And they all do this so that they can offer advice to the new incoming chief of staff on how to prepare for the role. It's kind of a nice tradition through multiple different administrations of both parties. And when Trump won the election last year, his new chief of staff, Susie Wiles, reportedly attended one of those dinners too. They each went around the table, giving her tips, as they normally do, for how to do the job. And when they got to Trump's first chief of staff, Reince Priebus, he had just one piece of advice for Susie Wiles, just one. He told her, quote, "Don't talk to Whipple." If it could be any more clear than that, that is very clear. Now, Whipple, in this case, meant Chris Whipple, the veteran journalist who has profiled just about every White House chief of staff in the modern era and also wrote a best-selling book about White House chiefs of staff. I would venture to say there are a few people who know more about the job of chief of staff than Chris Whipple. But today we learned that Susie Wiles didn't listen to that advice. And by now I'm betting you have probably heard about, maybe you've read a couple times like I have, the jaw-dropping interview with Trump Chief of Staff Susie Wiles that was published today in Vanity Fair by Chris Whipple. Now, in many ways, that interview has given us the most insight that we've had all year into how the Trump White House operates. And it goes a long way toward explaining why this administration is as dysfunctional as it appears to be from the outside looking in. You know, what we all think we see, what we all think is going on in there. Now, for one, Susie Wiles offers surprisingly frank hot takes on a number of her colleagues. She says that Vice President J.D. Vance has been, quote, a conspiracy theorist for a decade. She calls Trump Budget Director Russ Vought, quote, a right-wing absolute zealot. She calls Elon Musk, quote, an avowed ketamine user who sleeps in a sleeping bag in the executive office building during the daytime. And she describes her own boss, the President of the United States, as a man with an alcoholic's personality, in part because he operates with a view that there's nothing he can't do. Nothing, zero, nothing. I mean, that kind of confirms a whole lot about how Trump views constraints or the lack thereof on his power, right? Now, after that interview published today, Susie Wiles tried to do some damage control. The whole White House did. Now, she called the story a disingenuously framed hit piece, arguing that significant context was disregarded. But notably, and here's the key part, Wiles did not deny most of what she is quoted as saying. In fact, the only part of the interview she did explicitly deny was her claim that Elon Musk microdoses ketamine, telling the New York Times, quote, "That's ridiculous. I wouldn't have said it and I wouldn't know." But then, lo and behold, everyone, Chris Whipple played a tape for the New York Times in which Susie Wiles could be heard saying exactly that. Yes, there's almost always a tape. That's the thing. Now, I should note that Emma Snow has not independently heard that recording, but I reached out to Chris Whipple today, and he told me that, quote, "Every word is on tape." So there is that, everyone, which also might explain why Susie Wiles hasn't tried to deny anything else she reportedly said in that interview. And look, as a sitting White House chief of staff, just starting your tenure, it takes a certain kind of hubris to do 11 on-the-record interviews with a journalist like Chris Whipple, who is literally the expert on the position you hold. The fact that Wiles continued to open up to Whipple over the course of nearly a year, again, 11 interviews, suggests to me that despite a whole lot of evidence to the contrary, she actually thought she was doing a bang-up job as White House chief of staff. She maybe thought, you know what? This is good for my legacy. I'm going to do all these interviews, and it's going to tell the story of what an amazing chief of staff I was, something like that. And that level of self-assurance was likely bolstered by the view in some circles that Wiles was the adult in the room, both in the White House and on the campaign, exuding some level of competence over the unwieldy world of Trump. Now, what's clear now, after this, I cannot even describe, absolutely bananas interview, that after it was actually published, I should say, is that she really sees her job as more of kind of an observer of sorts, an enabler. Someone who's constantly getting dragged by the string she was supposed to be pulling. I mean, for example, Wiles suggested she questioned whether Trump really wanted to pardon all 1,500 people convicted in connection with January 6th. But she immediately folded when Trump decided to do it anyway on the very first day of his presidency. As Wiles explained, in every case of the ones Trump was looking at, in every case, they had already served more time than the sentencing guidelines would have suggested. So given that, I sort of got on board. She sort of got on board. Sounds to me like she was kind of steamrolled there, doesn't it? Especially because what Trump told her to justify those pardons wasn't even true. And it was a pretty easy to figure out thing that wasn't true. I mean, she could have just asked somebody, Googled it, who knows? Now, as Whipple notes, according to court records, many of the January 6 rioters pardoned by Trump had received sentences that were lighter than the guidelines. And of course, they included those who had assaulted police officers and others who had been convicted of seditious conspiracy. But Susie Wiles apparently just shrugged her shoulders and never bothered to check the facts as she continued to use the same justification months later. Now, another example involved Elon Musk's decision to abruptly cut the world off from the life-saving foreign aid by dismantling USAID. And as Wiles explained to Whipple, quote, "When Elon said, 'we're doing this,' he was already into it, probably because he knew it would be horrifying to others." Wiles then went on to tell Whipple that it was not the way I would do it, okay? And she even admitted that Trump himself was clueless to what was going on, saying, quote, "The president doesn't know and never will. He doesn't know the details of these smallish agencies." But here's the thing. It was her job to make sure he did know. That is literally her job. It was her job to explain to the president that his billionaire BFF was making decisions that would cost thousands of innocent people their lives.
Let's stop right here. She goes on, but you kind of get the gist, right?
Yeah.
And so go ahead. Let's start a discussion here. And I'm going to actually pull up oh, there she is. I'm going to, sorry, hit the wrong button. I'm going to actually pull up the article. So how many have read the article?
Don't all raise your hands.
I usually get that magazine, but for some reason I haven't gotten it yet. So, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I think I have.
Yeah.
But I've heard I've heard about it before now. Yeah.
Yeah. Lot of media, independent and mainstream are all covering it. Yes. So I have not finished it. I started reading it. There's a lot of information here. Anyone, I think, who starts out with "I'm not an enabler" is probably an enabler.
Yes.
What do you know about Susie Wiles? I guess I will go there first.
Well, she's from a family. Her father was he was a well-known
Commentator.
commentator. I forget his name. I
Pat
mean, she's
Summerall.
a line of people like that in her family. That's her history. She's very well qualified, but I don't know what her game is right now, and I personally don't know how anybody with her experience could work with somebody like Trump.
Pat Summerall was her father.
Right, Pat Summerall. Yeah.
Yeah, he was first a kicker for the New York Giants.
Oh, that's right.
And then that turned into what they call the voice of the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
So she, from what I gather from the bit of research I've done, she's a political like a general. I mean, she's a savvy woman when it comes to politics, and she goes back to Reagan. So it's really interesting to, I think she says here, at 23, she landed a job in the Reagan White House as a scheduler, where she watched his chief of staff, then Baker, in action. She married a GOP advance man, Lanny Wiles, and in 1984, they moved to Florida. She wanted to start a family, blah, 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 blah. But then Baker lured her back to work with Dan Quayle. So this was Bush Sr. She has been in and around politics her whole life. So that's why I asked the question, would someone like this be taken by a journalist?
She's not taking, it's all calculated. She knows exactly what she's doing because she's got to do it. I think she's a smart lady. I don't think she's down with everything, but she's not going to do nothing about it either. She's like, I've told you, I've said what I've said, I've kept it honest, but I'm not going anywhere. But she's well versed, and nobody tricked her into saying anything, and there's no context to go back to try to figure it out, because the context doesn't make any sense with all the things that she said. She said what she said.
Mm-hmm. Sorry, you can hear my dog in the background. Anybody else?
I think she's getting pressure from the inside as well, and that they're threatening her. But I don't know how they can threaten her when she could just leave. But she's like the only one in the whole cabinet that's qualified, technically. She's just,
Yeah, supposedly the White House is supportive of her.
Yeah.
Right? The White
as
House
long as she
rallies
stays,
around her.
long as she says right. But that's what he says now. But with all the stuff that she said, if it comes to anything, I think that'll change.
So this is on Instagram. I thought this was a really interesting post. Whoops. Don't go there. I wanted to make it bigger. I don't think it's going to let me. Well, let's just go ahead and listen to it here.
What do you think about this Vanity Fair article that everyone's calling a hit piece?
It's not a hit piece, that's for sure. It's a carefully timed manipulation of the American public designed to soften the impact of Trump's name appearing in the Epstein files and otherwise prop up his image to his base.
How so?
Well, let's start with the players. Susie Wiles, Trump's chief of staff and subject of the article, isn't some sudden renegade who's seen the light. She's one of the most destructive political operatives in modern American history and has spent decades dating back to the Reagan administration helping to install some of the worst Republicans this country has seen, including Trump and his current cabinet. She's coldly intelligent, and nothing she says in this article is accidental, no matter how much she insists otherwise. And Vanity Fair also can't be trusted. Aside from being a publication mainly designed to promote rampant consumerism and distract the public with bread and circuses, it's owned through Condé Nast by the same billionaire publishing apparatus that helped to conceive and popularize the 1997 book Art of the Deal, which is the book that sold Americans a completely false image of Donald Trump as a genius businessman. And that myth is the foundation of MAGA itself. So given who's speaking, who's publishing, and when the article dropped, this isn't coincidence, it's preemptive narrative management.
What does the article actually say?
Well, the piece itself, which is actually 2 long articles, is built from months of interviews between journalists Chris Whipple and Susie Wiles, stretching back to January. It's written less like investigative reporting and more like intimate gossip, framing the conversations about some of the most powerful people in the country as casual, almost affectionate exchanges between the two. Instead of being a whistleblower, Wiles is positioned as an exasperated but proud grandmother, gently venting about some unruly grandchildren rather than exercising real power. All of the criticism, except perhaps that of Elon Musk, who nobody likes, paints a picture of Trump and his cabinet as being patriotic and headstrong but human individuals who are doing their best for the country but sometimes have odd quirks and make mistakes. Nothing in here constitutes a hit piece, in my opinion. Instead, she's directly appealing to the strongman fantasy that MAGA loves, while also potentially giving herself some plausible deniability if things eventually go south, even in what she says about Trump.
Didn't she admit he was in the Epstein files?
Yes, but the left already believes that. And for those on the right who don't, this article serves 2 purposes at once. It releases the information early to soften the blow, and it supplies the excuse in advance that Trump is in the files like many others, but with no evidence of wrongdoing. She even throws Bill Clinton the same excuse in what is, in my opinion, again, an attempt to lend credibility to her argument with a concession to the other side. The thing that really stands out to me, though, is her description of Trump and Epstein as young single playboys together, which is blatantly false, really telling of where she actually stands. Because that framing completely collapses once you look at the reality of who Trump actually was at the time. He wasn't some reckless kid. He was in his 40s and 50s, married multiple times with children, immense wealth, and enormous power. And even if that weren't true, I'm exhausted by this boys will be boys excuse that's been used for generations to launder abuse, misogyny, and violence as an unavoidable byproduct of masculinity rather than a choice. A mindset that creates men like Trump and Epstein in the first place and then rushes to protect them after the fact. This isn't a story about frat boys being crude or men behaving badly in some abstract way. Jeffrey Epstein and the people around him ran a deliberately well-funded operation that trafficked and sexually abused children for over a decade. And during that same time period, Trump owned the Miss Teen USA pageant. He bragged publicly about walking backstage while underage girls were undressed, and he maintained a close personal friendship with Epstein through the height of Epstein's abuse of children. So no, calling them young single playboys isn't just inaccurate. It's deliberate minimization of power, responsibility, and harm. And seeing it used now preemptively as a cover for what's to come out is exactly why this article was published in the first place.
Hey, Anthony.
Whoa. I want to know how he does that.
Wow.
He's playing a video game while he's just spewing. I'm assuming he's reading something, but maybe not. I don't know. What do you think? What do you think?
Back to the same locker room talk type bull crap. Everything gets minimized and dismissed, and it wasn't this, it was that, and I'm just over the whole thing. I've had enough. I'm saturated.
Because she said things, but she didn't really say anything. You know,
She say acts like an alcoholic, got the personality of an alcoholic. I know some fun alcoholics. I know some evil ones. You know what I'm saying? But it's weird to say. I think she means he's erratic and unkempt and kind of crazy. But we know that.
well, her father was an alcoholic, so
Yeah.
she knows a little bit about an alcoholic's personality, and I think what she meant by that was, like she said, in his mindset that there isn't anything that he can't do. You know, like there's nothing beyond his power, kind of
I'm
thing.
powerful.
Yeah. But
What-
yeah, I believe it was calculated. I believe she knew exactly what she was doing, and I believe it was meant to drop exactly at the time that it dropped because they're about to hit the deadline for releasing the Epstein files. And he's also ramping things up in Venezuela. So,
so interesting. She's going into denial about the interview, but it's sort of a strange thing to do because it was all taped.
exactly.
Yeah, kind of.
I thought it was interesting that she used the term alcoholic too, because his brother was an alcoholic who died from his alcoholism. So I just thought that was kind of an interesting choice of words. And is there anything related to that?
Yeah, her father was. So she knows that type of personality.
Well, I mean, his brother
difficult.
was like,
yeah.
Just out about Trump when his brother was famously an alcoholic.
Yeah.
And supposedly Trump never touched alcohol because of that reason.
I think it's brain damage.
Meaning
That he had some kind of traumatic brain injury or something, because something's not right. The man's not right, and whatever the diagnosis is, we need to get it in. But we may find out soon due to the discovery in this lawsuit. He's suing the
BBC.
And they asked for discovery, and they said they want his tax records and his health records so they can see what state of mind he was in and physical and mental state he was in when he was saying all this. So we may get it after all.
So yeah, I pulled out a couple things from the article about that alcoholics piece. Some clinical psychologist that knows 1 million more times than I do will dispute what I'm going to say, but high functioning alcoholics or alcoholics in general, their personalities are exaggerated when they drink. So I'm a little bit of an expert in big personalities. Wiles said about Trump has an alcoholic's personality. He operates within the view that there's nothing I can't do, nothing.
Grandiosity.
Right? Yes. One of the other things she talks about in the article that Jen, I think, does later is that Trump waged war on his political enemies, right? Pardon the January 6th rioters, firing nearly everyone involved in the investigation and prosecution, sued media companies into multi-million-dollar settlements, indicted multiple government officials, blah, 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 blah. He's redefined the way presidents behave, verbally abusing women, minorities, and almost anyone who offends him. Charlie Kirk's assassination in September turbocharged Trump's campaign of revenge and retribution. Critics have compared this moment to a Reichstag fire as a modern version of Hitler's exploitation of the torching of Berlin's parliament. Some of her comments when they talked about January 6th, wanted to know if, did you push back at all? And she said, I did actually, she did at first. And then as they were trying to claim that, and they were flat out lying, that they were either over sentenced or they've already served their sentence. And that's why she decided to follow suit on that. And it's interesting. There's much more in the article, but I found what the gentleman said very interesting. And I tend to believe that. And Linda, yeah, thank you. I got this from you in the audience. Yeah, it was a great clip. And I think he's on the nose.
Yeah. Because I think that if this had not been a calculated thing, if this was something that everybody didn't know about, she would have been thrown under the bus by now. But instead, they're circling the wagons around her, and she was just very unflattering to everyone, which is the exact opposite of how they usually behave when they think that someone has betrayed them.
Yeah. Now,
Either
I
that or they
do,
setting her up for the kibosh, jump out the bushes, and you know what I'm saying? Just come out, pop out at your party. I'm just saying, because usually, when you're being nice to somebody, you know that they've wronged you the way he is, and as vindictive as he is. I hope she got her head on a swivel. That's all I'm saying.
well,
Figuratively and
yeah. With everything she said, and I think the calculative manner that she's done these interviews, it wasn't by mistake at all. I do think this whole administration is the epitome of the wild, wild west. I mean, they're out of control.
Yeah, they are.
And we know that. And
Well.
so, just to go back to your point, the White House rallies around Susie Wiles after unguarded interviews. Administration officials have lined up to defend White House Chief of Staff Susie Wiles, including leaders she insulted over the course of 11 on-the-record interviews with a writer of the magazine. Wiles and her allies said 2 resulting articles published Tuesday took her out of context and cast the team in a negative light. Joining an outpouring of supportive statements from cabinet secretaries and White House staffers, and President Donald Trump praised Wiles and attacked Vanity Fair. Interesting. Very interesting. I don't know about you, but it's still a couple of the other things, and what's called the Wild Wild West, is she admitted in this that he shoots from the hip. I mean, and we kind of all know that, but he doesn't think through anything. Anything.
that's why he come out there talking all crazy and saying names wrong. I mean, if there's something you can't say, it's one thing, and nobody's perfect, but try it out first. You know what I'm saying? Look into it. Find out 10 minutes of something about it so you can speak, at least lie about it. But he doesn't even care because he's not held to any standard. Whatever he does goes, so I wouldn't prepare either. But our lives are in danger while he's doing all this off the cuff type stuff, and that's my biggest issue.
Right, because it touches everything.
There's not a Republican that I believe at all right now.
That what?
It's
Andrea?
rough.
I said there's not a Republican that I believe right now anyway. So she said she didn't say all of that, and I did read that. I remember now. And then but she's denying all of it. And then the guy Chris on Don's show this morning said she did say, I believe him. I don't believe her.
Right.
I don't believe Donald or her.
Well,
I think she said it and scared to admit it because he'll cut your neck off if you admit it.
No.
But the only reason why she said that is to get people talking. Before anyone can give an interview, they must tell you that you're being recorded. So Chris Ripple told every last one of them that you're being recorded. No one can record you, especially in the White House, without permission. So they were well aware of this. This is to circumnavigate what's coming out, because tonight he's going to try to declare war on Venezuela and talk about his accomplishment. There's no accomplishment. The only accomplishment is he has brought the economy to almost its knees, and also his family has been grifting.
Mm-hmm.
Only accomplishment he's made is getting on my nerves.
Well, today he messed up this week with the comments he made about the Reiner family.
Yes.
Tragedy, and people are really ticked off about that. I heard a lot of chatter when I was out moving around today about it.
That still makes me feel sick.
He want to worship Charlie Kirk, but not the Reiner.
Well, everything is a hypocritical situation. If he does it, it's fine, but if anybody else does it, it's trouble. Or if somebody in his cabinet does it, it's fine. But the man is, it's just too much, and I don't know. And then you got all these people that just keep changing their story. I didn't say this, I didn't say that. Release the files so we can see them, and then we'll go from there.
Wiles and Article 2, Section 4.
Well, he's a dangerous man, that's for sure.
Oh, definitely.
For a president, my God.
Anybody that doesn't have anything to lose, and he doesn't have anything to lose, only thing he could lose was he was going to go to prison had he not got elected into the presidential office. And you fools, I'm sorry, but y'all that voted for him more.
I don't get it.
Yep.
Never will.
I used to be a corrections officer. Oh man, could you imagine getting signed to Donald's block? I need toilet paper. I need the bullies to stop it. They're pushing me.
I don't know if he would have lived a day to even say anything.
It's just disgusting.
Yeah, he wouldn't. So, continuing kind of the theme, obviously, knowing a little bit behind the scenes of what's going on, which I don't know, to me, just confirmed what we already knew. And I'm sure it's much, much worse than what we're hearing. But what's scary is what's happening with Venezuela right now. So, I don't know. I'm sure everybody has seen this by now. So, and I've seen so many posts about this. This is a declaration, an act of war without congressional approval, and imperialistic jingoism.
Yeah, I don't even know what that is.
You know what?
This doesn't even make sense. I'm reading, and it don't make sense.
So Venezuela is completely surrounded by the largest armada ever assembled in the history of South America. It will only get bigger. And the shock to them will be like nothing they've ever seen before. It's always like nothing they've ever seen before.
Nothing like you
ever always is like,
it's bigger, is larger.
Yeah. I was going to say something, but I will refrain. Until such a time as they return to the United States of America, all the oil, land, and other assets that they previously stole from us. We'll talk about that.
Does that sound like
illegitimate Maduro? Go ahead. Let me finish and then we'll talk. The illegitimate Maduro regime is using oil from these stolen oil fields to finance themselves, drug terrorism, human trafficking, murder, and kidnapping for the theft of our assets, and many other reasons, including terrorism, drug smuggling, and human trafficking. The Venezuelan regime has been designated a foreign terrorist organization. Keep that in mind because that's important, right? Here we'll talk about it. Therefore, today I am ordering a total and complete blockade of all sanctioned oil tankers going into and out of Venezuela. Blah 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 blah. Guy's an idiot.
God,
sorry.
That is just a.
Let's do a little education on Venezuela, shall we? Shall we? Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I should put that back up. All the stuff he was saying. What he thinks they come over here and take our oil?
That's what I was going to ask. Did they come up on the shores of Texas or something and start, drilling our oil without our permission? Like, I don't know.
Maybe Amerigo Vespucci back in the day dropped off something, picked up some one of the explorers, Lewis and Clark or something, took it down there.
What is the name of that gang, the Venezuelan gang members that they claim?
Trinidad, Aragua.
Yeah. So along with breaking into houses, they're breaking into oil fields and stealing oil. Yeah, I mean, it's so absurd.
I don't get it. Where did this come from anyway?
Okay.
It's not perfect, but I mean, come on. On and on.
We want their products. Okay. We want to steal them. And so in order to steal them.
Let's go back. I did a little research, of course. So let's go back. Obama administration 2015. Sanctions began under sanctions. We'll talk about what sanctions are. Sanctions began under Obama and targeted specific Venezuelan officials, not the economy, right? It was because of human rights violations, and it was cracked down on political opposition, They declared Venezuelan a national security threat, largely symbolic but legally important. Okay, those were the sanctions that started. And again, we'll talk about what that means. Trump administration. This is where things escalated. Trump expanded sanctions to include the PDVSA, who is the state oil company, the financial institutions, the government debt, oil exports and transactions, etc. Why? Because Maduro's 2018 re-election was widely criticized as illegitimate. The US recognized the opposition leader, right? So Juan Guaido as interim president, and I apologize if I butchered that name. The goal was to force a regime change back then, right? Which is what we still hear about. This is when Venezuela's oil sector was effectively strangled. Biden administration, sanctions largely remained in place. Some temporary easing was tied to negotiations and promises of electoral reform. So they had issues with their election under dictatorship, everything that we're kind of seeing happening now. Limited licenses granted to companies like Chevron. So other countries got involved. The EU, Canada, UK, Latin American countries, China, Russia. China and Russia opposed sanctions, obviously, and they continued limited engagement. And that's important because we'll talk about that in a minute. So the sanctions were designed to pressure Maduro to hold fair elections, restore democratic norms, reduce corruption and repression. What actually happened was not that. Maduro stayed in power, Venezuela's economy worsened, humanitarian conditions deteriorated, oil production collapsed, and ordinary Venezuelans bore the brunt of it. So everything he's saying is bullshit. So sanctioned doesn't mean we own it. That's number one. This is not our oil. So before the sanctions, yes, Venezuela supplied a lot of oil globally, right? So they were a big shipper of oil, provider of oil globally, US, UK, around the world. After the sanctions, they were blocked by pretty much everybody, but that means the banks, no buyers, their economy essentially collapsed over this because they really, their oil is their main source of their economy. So what they have to do, they had to go to intermediaries, they had to do shadow routes, deep discounts, middlemen, all this. And this is where I think China and Russia got involved. We have no right at all to seize their oil tankers and to take the oils. That's not what the sanctions are for. This is out and out theft.
They're all using the same playbook. That's what I said. It's only like 7 to 8 of them that want to take over the whole world. Like this is a soap opera, and they can just go and take any country they want. And he's following Armand and Putin and Kim Jong-un and Xi Jinping. They want to take over the world. And unless we fight back, we have to fight back. We can't just sit here and even though the country made a big mistake voting him in, we have to fight back.
Absolutely. And if we look at Maduro, I mean, he's no peach, right? So anti-US, anti-imperialist, all about state control of strategic industries, especially oil. Pretty much authoritarian. I mean, that's what he is. Power centralized in the executive. Elections exist, but they control them, just like Orban in Hungary.
Yes.
So
And the thing about him is Maduro, And they also have the rare earths and things like that. And I think he wants to go in there to steal. And now he's using the idea that China may go and set up camp there so close to us, which they might. But I don't know what we down there messing around for in the first place. It's like the back in the day. Well, not even back in the day. You know how everybody else went and, claimed the land or helped people, that's why Nigerians are very British. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
and taking over places, but that's still like that's like conquering a nation or something. We don't do that. Not
Well,
anymore.
Trump isn't really trying to help Ukraine. He wants
I
the
don't
mineral.
know.
He wants the minerals himself, and it's a shame watching how Putin and Trump are treating this man. I kind of like him. He's cute too.
What was that? So a couple posts on this. This is someone that I follow on Blue Sky, who's actually I've been following since the first administration, and he's in national security in some way, but he's anonymous. So when he reposted this, a blockade, he says, is an act of war. And the idea that Venezuela has stolen land from the United States is so laughably stupid on its face that even some of his base are like, huh? And it is all about the oil. All about the oil. Another one, Mueller, she wrote. She was on X a lot. She's a journalist, I believe. And he'll start a war to distract from the Epstein files, steal oil, justify emergency powers, justify use of the AEA for deportation and internment, help the drug lord he just pardoned.
What is
And he
it?
needs to explain that to us too.
So, Ambassador, let me see here. Trump is planning to launch a full-scale war against Venezuela on the same day that the Epstein files must be released according to the law passed by Congress, signed by Trump. It's almost as if Trump will stop at nothing, including war crimes, to keep these files secret.
That's when you know
And why
somebody.
isn't Congress involved? That's their job to declare war.
We know why. Mike Johnson.
Mike Johnson, Supreme Court.
Yeah. So that's why I said keep an eye on these words right here. A foreign terrorist organization. They always find a loophole. And labeling them a foreign terrorist organization is what they feel is their loophole for not having to go to Congress. That's what I read today.
And what's a jingoism?
Did we look that up?
It's extreme patriotism.
That's interesting. I had never heard that term before.
Neither.
Other thoughts?
Just worry about us. I just noticed it. It's just the sentiment. It's the things that are going on. Epstein files are so dominating everything, and he's doing all these different things, and it's just too much. With all the tragedy we're having nationally, internationally, and then you got your own stuff to deal with. It's just a lot of mental health issues and stuff going on. And I just once again, here he goes doing something that's going to damage us that we're not going to be able to fix. He's going to leave us this mess, and I don't think SCOTUS is going to do a daggone thing about it once again. And Congress is powerless, so it's like the whole government is one person.
Well,
and
just
he
like
makes the decisions. And
this past weekend, Melania's dark past was out. It came out. Her dark past came out this past weekend. So he's trying to make sure that's not showing, and that because she was involved with Epstein before. And so now he want to make sure her stuff don't come all the way out, and his stuff don't come all the way out. It's I just wish I could find him in a dark alley.
And they may be I think kind of that's funny. I think kind of. Let me see what I was. Oh, because of all the people that are mentioned in the files, this is just a thought of mine. What if those people are so afraid that their stuff is going to come out that they coming at Donald like, hey, we're going to make sure all, you know what I'm saying? Blackmail the blackmailer.
Mm-hmm.
That is what's going
And,
on. You can't
and
Exactly.
so
come
he
out.
knows, and they like, we're going to send you down with the files. We're not going down with the files, but you going to go down. So you better stop it. And I
Yeah.
think he
Start
got a
trying.
few little
Epstein is
casualties
dead
here
over
and
these
there.
files, and Elaine, she trying to petition to come out right now. I know she was trying to petition that the information is false, and she wants to get out because she said the information was not credible that they saying she did.
You have
Well, the
over
problem with
a
that is,
thousand
go ahead.
women talking about their experiences. How the hell it could be fake? So,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like, let's just stop. We have moved away from the real victims, and the victims know what happened. They know what Trump did or did not do. They know what the damn prince did and did not
Mm-hmm.
do.
Mhm.
His mother, let her rest in peace. She paid to keep that quiet. Okay. So, I mean, let's cut the bullshit. I've had enough.
That's how
Just
I feel.
go ahead and show your damn hand and, hey, own your shit.
He
You
say
try
he
to
a
own
man
everything
thinking
else.
like a man.
Yeah. That's so right, Andrea. If you're
Mm-hmm.
so tough, come on, step
Mm-hmm.
up, take it like a man.
Mm-mm. But he gonna kill all these people. He blew up 3 more boats this past Sunday, and now he gonna want to kill everybody in Venezuela. They're still gonna leave with the stuff with Epstein. It's not going away.
It's up to
This is
90
what I
people,
sometimes
right?
tell people who harm themselves, always to self-harm. I always ask them, and there's nothing against anybody who self-harms. If that's what you do, please get help. But sometimes I ask them, okay, so you had a problem, you self-harmed. Now you got 2 problems. You know what I mean? You got this problem and that problem, and they didn't fix it, but yet you keep trying to do it and fix it that way, so it's not fixing anything. So it's a maladaptive behavior. So once again, it's not fixing anything. You understand what I'm saying? That sound
Yeah,
crazy?
it's like the wife that want to leave the husband, and the husband say you're not gonna leave me, and then he kill her, and he said, "Oh my goodness, I got to kill myself now." He could have just started with him.
Right. Start with there, and then you ain't got to worry about it.
There are a lot of suicides that take other people out with them.
Mm-hmm. And you
You
need to
know,
just
the
start with you.
anger. Yeah.
And that's what he's doing. I mean, I mean, they've already destroyed Gaza and Jerusalem. I can't even talk no more. I got confused.
They didn't
Well,
kill
you've got
about
Gaza,
400 more Gazans
Ukraine.
since the ceasefire.
All these people dying just to hide Epstein.
Oh, yeah.
Epstein and
Well,
dementia.
Uh,
we know this goes deep.
uh, none of these people should be
Yeah.
running our country.
And
That's all.
it's
They
so
all
many.
So
We don't know what Democrats and what Republicans are all involved in this because they say it's a whole bunch of people. Because some people, look at like August said, the prince. She knew his son did all of that, and they took him out of his position. But the United States, we supposed to be a strong, tough country, and we letting one man take us out.
that's because we're a greedy country.
That's what I said.
Right. It's
Right.
very greedy, and there's so many things they're doing. We are bought and sold. Like I
Hmm.
said, sold stand for same
Hmm.
old Lion Donald, and it's so greedy. For instance, I noticed a little bit off the subject, but to me it's really not. So in the big beautiful bill, I just found out in the last couple of days that there's a clause in there for cannabis coming up. It's not going to be active until November. It's going to destroy the cannabis industry. It's because big alcohol there's such a reduction in alcohol because people are going to the cannabis that
Mhm.
they don't want it. They're losing billions. Same thing with this pop. They're getting ready to stop all this because Pepsi and all them about to use billions with the SNAP benefits. And I guarantee by the end of the year, they're going to switch it around. So big alcohol paid Mitch McConnell a bunch of money, and you can try to look it up. It's like 800 and almost $900,000 to slip it in the bill. It will decimate the cannabis industry, and the people either have to go back to the streets or whatever. So he's talking about lowering, you know, the make it a Schedule 3. But like I said, all these are different ruses going on. There's always these things, but it's all at the end of it. It's not about nothing because it's all going to be moot if you don't even let them sell it more than this much or that much potency. So it's all a setup, and they would rather kill Americans with alcohol than take a hit. Nobody over there at the Anheuser-Busch or any of those places are going to starve.
Well, they
Yeah.
losing a lot of underground money legalizing marijuana. That's why they don't want to legalize it, because they're losing a lot of underground
Right.
money. That they
Yeah,
want.
that
They
might be the
want both
bigger
money.
issue.
They want the liquor money and they want the underground money.
Right. And
And
that's the problem. Nobody's working for us to help us. It's just all this big, you give me quid pro quo everywhere.
yeah, I think there's some truth to that they're going to cannabis, but I also believe like the cigarette industry, and like the more people that realize how bad alcohol is for you, more people are not drinking it.
Yes.
And
And
so there's so
vaping,
much more awareness around it now.
Yeah.
Young people in
Yes.
particular.
vaping puts a hole in your lungs. It's
Mhm.
worse than cigarette smoking.
Well, vaping
We
they're
don't know the
finding
ramifications yet.
is bad for your
Yeah.
lungs. Yeah. So let's we need to really keep an eye on what the hell's going on there. This this next thing
Oh my
just
God.
really
Oh,
hit
not the
me,
pictures.
hit me, hit me. It's like who's our president? What is he in sixth grade? I
Not
mean,
even sixth grade, kindergarten.
is this
He in the fourth.
is this
He in the
is
fourth.
this oh my God, this man is so insecure and so envious
Like
of
Jasmine
people.
says, ugly bulls.
Yeah, I just, if you have not heard about this, please go look it up, because this man has stooped to an. You thought, Rob Reiner, that was a low. This is
Oh.
not that low, but it's pretty damn close. In what he's trying to do and how he's trying to destroy the memory of our presidents. And you can look at all this garish goddess stuff anyway.
Oh,
Well,
he's got
he
new signage
Gold
up.
garbage.
Says the look like you going
So
into the spa instead of the Oval Office.
Trump
yeah,
said one thing that was true. He said he's not going to heaven.
Yeah, he did say that. He's, I don't think it's gonna work out for me.
He-
well, I'll go back and read more, but this is just the post from the Obama plaque and the Biden plaque. Trump has added new plaques under his presidential Walk of Fame in the White House. On Obama, Barack Hussein Obama was the first Black president, one of the most divisive political figures in American history, and goes on and goes on. Under
Inappropriate.
Biden, Sleepy Joe Biden was by far the worst president in American history, nicknamed both Sleepy Joe and Crooked. Joe Biden was dominated by his radical left handlers. What a pathetic small man.
Well, what right does
This is
he
a
have
pathetic
to
small
do
man.
that in the White House anyway?
defamation of
Right.
character. That's so.
They,
That's what they use their
exactly.
own logic. They need to sue
Yes.
him for
They
defamation of
should
character.
too.
Both of them should
Yes,
sue.
And destroying, defacing property.
Yeah.
Well,
absolutely. That's
he
what I
knocked down
say.
the whole freaking wing. Nobody's
Mm.
going to do anything about a couple of plaques and a picture if they didn't do
You're right,
anything about him
you're right.
knocking the building down.
That's so
Oh.
true.
You're right.
Well, they have in court on Tuesday. They have done something about a court. They have a court case on Tuesday because they want him to stop construction. We'll find out Tuesday.
Well,
They
this is
came up
this.
with it
this
today and they said they weren't.
I haven't seen any change to that, but we'll see.
I don't know. So, I mean, this goes on. So under Reagan's picture, references that Ronald Reagan as a fan of a young Trump.
Yeah.
The plaques include bombastic language written in Trumpian style. The installation is Republican president's latest move to shape the White House in his image.
His library is going to be like a series of bloopers.
So Biden's plaque repeats false claims that the 46th president, Democrat, took office as a result of the most corrupt election ever, when in fact he defeated Trump. We know that. We know what really happened. Look at this. Biden got 2 plaques. Yeah, Biden got 2 plaques.
You run on like one of his posts, and just run on sentences.
Right.
Look at the plaques under.
I'm with May
Bush's.
Brown. The right to put this stuff up.
Look at this. This is just beyond disgusting. You can tell who he envies the most.
Mm-hmm. He's mad. He completely removed Biden's picture and put a picture of a auto pen. So he's mad. He's mad as a hatter over Biden beating him, and he's always been envious of Obama.
But let's go one further. He put his face up there twice. Obama won twice. Others won twice. I mean, the Bushes won. So, like, come on, really? Yes.
He's just a pathetic.
At West 156, he is SICK. Sick.
He mad because he not getting none. Melania say you stink.
I think that he could have used this opportunity this week to even make some could have got away with a little bit more, but he's not. He's so busy being mean that he's not looking at the opportunities. Like with the Reiner family tragedy, he could have been like, look how drugs caused this man to devastate, you know what I'm saying? And then I'm trying to stop.
He can't put 2 sentences together. He can't put 2 thoughts together like that. You asking a lot of him.
The man is not capable. I was listening to Jim Acosta talk to Mary Trump last night, and he's not capable.
Yeah,
does not have that in him.
That would have made sense.
Exactly, Linda.
I know.
He's incapable. I know, but we look at him as we try to look, from our own humanity and our own compassion and and he has none of that. To be so empty inside like that, dark, black, dark. I mean that
he has
dark,
nothing. I think he feels nothing.
Black-hearted. It's
need to take him to Pahrump. Y'all know where Pahrump is?
Oh,
outside of Las Vegas, where all the hookers are. He need to go to Pahrump. None.
Over to Spark. We'll call it Sparks. I know Sparks down by Reno.
They don't care if you got on diapers or not.
So I keep saying the good news about all this is that when he's gone, we're going to bring in a dumpster and they're going to dump all this shit.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, please.
He'll be dancing at Mar-a-Lago one night and they'll back it up, or he'll be like, hey, and they'll say, ooh, baby, what you wearing? He said, depends. They said, depends on what? He said, no, it depends. Now keep the party going.
Back it up. Gonna get the smell first.
Did I see did I see somebody in there? Did I see who joined us? Call it like it is. He's the devil. He is. I recognize that West 156.
I don't know that sign.
I won't call you out, but
oh, I think I know who you're talking about. I won't say it either.
We miss you. You need to come
Yep.
join us.
Oh, then I know who it is.
Yep.
I miss you too.
We miss you, bud. We miss you. Yeah. Okay. All right. So it is that time. Let me pull up for August on the Move.
Yes, we are. We're currently on the move because we have 8 more days before Christmas. Hopefully, you got whatever shopping you're going to do out the way, getting the house ready, or just preparing for company, getting that meal menu ready. Think about it. But here is the latest. One thing I wanted to bring up and make sure everybody understand, they were voting today, and I think Don left us with one thing, but now from PBS, they indicated that the Republicans defied Speaker Mike Johnson to force House vote on extending ACA subsidies. There were four centrist Republicans that broke with Mike Johnson on today and signaled onto Democrats led petition that will force a House vote on extending for 3 years an enhanced pandemic era subsidy. The stunning move comes after the House leader pushes ahead with a health care bill. What bill? They only have concepts. Let's cut the crap. That does not address the soaring monthly premiums that millions of people will soon endure. Just keep in mind, Democrats led by Minority Leader Jeffries of New York needed 218 signatures or forced a floor vote on their bill, which would extend the subsidies for 3 years. So the four Republicans that did come over is Fitzpatrick, Brumsam, and McKenzie. All three were from Pennsylvania, and Mike Lawler from New York. We're still going to vote you out, Mike. I'm sorry. We're still going to get rid of you. So, guys, this will continue. More to come in regards to this madness. They are not thinking about anyone but themselves. And I think you guys talk back to me on what you've heard thus far in regards to this House vote.
This is the first I'm hearing of that, so I'll be tuning into some news tonight to see what's going on.
Isn't that? I thought they voted on that today, and it,
Yeah,
and
I
it
thought they
didn't
did.
pass.
Yeah.
I heard something about it.
I thought it
Yeah.
didn't pass.
Right.
And
No,
there were
no.
actually two or three Democrats who voted against it, which
No, two
don't-
Democrats. And I'm
Are
trying to
you-
find the names
yeah.
of the two Democrats that voted against it. So more to come in regards to this. In the
Two
news,
Democrats voted against it, and they
yes.
see what's happening in this country.
And that's why I want to know their names so we can call them out.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Thank
Absolutely.
you.
No problem. Also in the news, we have the Desperate Brown murders. Cops reduced to issuing photos of someone which they call person of interest. Now, here we go. Here's another killing, and good old FBI head man in charge, Patel, cannot get it together. Once again, do we call for their jobs? Yes or no?
Yes.
Thank you.
Oh, yes, yeah.
Well, holla at you.
Absolutely. So we still do not know. They're still looking for the individual, but we have two Brown students that have passed away due to this. Um, it cannot be easy, especially for those that have gone through Parkland and other um, mass shootings in school and coming back, going to college, thinking that you put that in your rearview mirror, only to be met once again with another shutdown of school. When will we learn? When will we start thinking about our own and put the right laws in place. When?
And mental health reform.
Absolutely. Also, Trump to address the nation tonight at 9 o'clock in regards to his popular chips in the face of economic concerns. Please, he, you guys can watch. I've seen this show before. I'll pass.
Yeah, we'll pass
No,
too.
thank you.
The Senate passes a $90.1 billion defense bill that pushes headsets for boat strike video. We're still waiting to get that. Let me know if you guys hear anything else about it because the Senate has given final passage to a annual military policy bill that will authorize 90 hear what I'm saying 90.1 billion in defense programs. Don't get me wrong, the way how we run it right now, we better put some shields up because what you do, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. You want to go after Venezuela? Trust and believe you're doing the same thing that Putin is doing to the Ukrainians. So keep
It's
that in mind.
it's worse. It's 901 billion. So it is way worse.
Where
I
we getting
have
the money?
I have 990.1 billion, but okay. It's probably 901. Maybe I miss seeing it. Oh, we have money. Trust me, we don't have the money. They're stealing our money. It's in their bank accounts, in their offshore accounts.
Yep.
And all the tax that they collect, trust and believe that.
How about healthcare?
Yeah, how about it? We tried to
Babies.
vote on it, and the
Yeah.
Republicans sold us down the river.
Okay.
And if you were on Don's show, Representative Jackson really broke it down.
Yeah, he did.
I
Yeah.
mean, he
I
really
did
broke
see
it
that.
down.
Yeah.
It's just, it's not even, it's
What did
35.
he say? I didn't see it. What did he say?
No, he was just breaking down the math and really letting people understand out
Oh,
of all that money that they put in for the big, beautiful bill, what they're asking for healthcare is only 35 million. And it's nothing to keep
not
people
for how many
going.
people in America.
Exactly. To
Little
keep
chump
people
change.
going.
And they not making it easy to find out which two Democrats voted against it.
Jazzy just told us they're from
Yeah, you
Texas.
just told us.
Who was it?
The
Oh,
two from Texas.
Okay.
I'm so
Gonzalez
surprised. I'm so
and
surprised.
I don't
what you
understand
say,
how
Miss
they
Connie
did it.
Gonzalez
And Cuellar.
I
Cuellar.
think
Okay, we're
and
going to have to keep
Recruiter.
them in mind. And Texas, hey, you need to go do what you have to do because they're not about your interests.
Mm-hmm.
And you need to ask them why. Why would you not vote for the ACA? I'd
and
rather
it's
you,
many Texans
I'd
that
ra-
are on it.
let me just finish. I'd rather you say vote present if you're not sure. But come on, to give it to them, that's ridiculous. Why are you there? Why?
Jazzy's right. Look at Jazzy. Jazzy's right. Wasn't he the one that just got pardoned?
Yes.
Mm.
That's why.
That's why he
That's
got
why.
bought. That's why
Yes.
they bought and
So we,
sold. Bought him.
yeah,
Well,
yep,
it's time for us to vote him out.
yep.
Mhm.
Oh,
Go.
Listen up, Texas. They're showing you who they are. So believe them.
We're not the one.
So believe them. To wrap this up, I do have one thing I would like to share with everyone tonight. Um, it is a lot of news, and there's no way you can keep your sanity with the BS that is going on in this White House. However, I want you to know that everything is not always the same. We can push forward, and I want to show you how we can do it. Okay, as soon as I can get over there and get it to play. Come on. Hello. Come on. Keisha, you see it on your board? I put it up, but it's not coming. Huh?
There it
There.
is.
There
Thank
it
you.
is.
All right, maybe I can. It's up.
Keisha will
It's
have to
up,
play
but
it.
I got it.
2 weeks
Oh,
ago, a security
okay.
guard gave me all of his pocket change. Then he told me this.
My boss hasn't paid me for a whole since October 11th. I'm still waiting.
How much money's in your bank account right now? $183.
That's in savings. Either I walk from South Minneapolis here or take the train.
How long does it take you to walk here?
Hours.
Would you like a car?
Yeah, that would be the dream.
Inspired by his kindness, many of you stepped up to help Xavier get through a difficult time. And today, I get to surprise him with 2 gifts that will completely change his life.
You trust me?
Yeah, I trust you.
Do me a favor, okay?
Yeah.
This is a blindfold.
Okay.
You gotta put it on.
All right.
There you go. Can you see?
Nope.
All right, grab my hand. Follow me.
My boss has been, trying to push me out by sending me places that's far away from me, knowing that I don't have a car. And his assistant, she said, well, Max, good luck, getting to work. Doing that so I can be late, so they can write me up. If I get 3 write-ups, then I get fired. He says he's a Marine, but I know Marines do not act like this.
I'm gonna count down from 3 and you're gonna take your blindfold off, okay?
All right.
3, 2, 1. Turn around.
Oh, really?
That's yours.
Wow. It is?
That's yours.
You won't have to be walking to work anymore. Thank you.
Come here, we have something else too.
Me too, Jazzy.
Wow.
It's $25,000.
Really?
$25,000. Take the keys.
Did you steal it?
This would be wonderful.
Yeah.
I want to thank you guys for the card.
It wasn't even us, man. It was the community. You showed the world your power, and this is what they did for you.
It's my testament. I felt like giving up. I know the Creator. I asked him, if you're real, help me. And then he sent he sent you and worked through you. Now I'll never forget.
That's yours.
Well, with that said, thank you, everyone. I hope you have a happy holidays. Remember to share of yourself, and others will share of you. We need each and every one of you in our hearts, in our minds, and in our souls in order to push through the evil that is around us. Thank you. Over to you, Kim.
Thank you, August. That was beautiful. What a wonderful
Yes, thank
story.
you. Yes.
It's so
Nice
nice
story.
to see kindness in the midst of all this hate.
Yeah, I wouldn't even believe it. I'd be crying if it was true. He didn't cry.
I think he's stunned.
Yeah.
Put on a blindfold and come get in the car with this white man.
Jazzy, but what did Jazzy say? She's like, no, wait a minute. If someone tells me to pull out a blindfold and come with them, I'm running. Well, evidently he'd been talking with this person for a while. I mean, they built a rapport, right? It wasn't like some stranger. Yeah.
That's funny.
Right. He gave all the money out of his pocket to this guy. That's what the beginning of the story was.
I know I saw it, but it was like, no, this is too good to be true.
Okay.
I hear you because of everything.
No, excuse me, I don't have no sense.
I was
it's
just
hard
trying
today.
to bring something moving that we can always pay it forward.
Yeah.
I think I know it's hard today. All the disinformation has made us cynical, which I don't want to be. So I'm going to choose to think that was real.
Yeah. I used to do stuff like paying the toll for the person behind me or paying for somebody's food, that was coming up behind me. And that would make me feel good. I would always do little small things.
It comes
like
back
that.
to you too.
Yeah.
It's never the billionaires that do stuff like this.
It's not.
No.
I've done it where I've helped somebody with a little bit of something, and somebody was standing there with a lot of money, and they thanked me, and they were like, oh thank you, because they were ashamed, because they seen that between the two of me and the guy, we had like $6, but we was making it happen. That man was sitting on the knot like this, and he was so ashamed of himself. And I thought, well, speak up and help somebody.
Yeah, it does feel good. Thank you, August, for that. All right, everybody, we went over today, but good information, good discussions. I appreciate it. Thank you all for joining us. We appreciate you so much. Hey, May. And we will be here again on Friday. So please join us on Friday for our roundtable. And as we get ready for the holidays, don't stress out. Think about the love. Right? Hang in there. Love you guys. Mwah. We'll see you Friday.
Bye-bye.
See you later.
We the people unite.